Hello and welcome to the channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about my participation in Peter Forsgård's World Photography Day Global Photo Project. So what this was Peter decided that he would see how many people from around the world would be willing to go out on World Photography Day, which was August 19th, and submit their best photo that they took from the day, with the idea of getting a collection of photos taken from all around the world. And from what I saw on the live stream, it looked like he was pretty successful in getting a pretty good representation, as he was mentioning different countries. I think just about every continent except Antarctica. I didn't hear anything from Antarctica on there, but every place else seemed to have people that were participating. So it'll be really interesting to see the results. He will be putting together a book that he will be selling, that the proceeds will go to charity. So another nice side benefit from this project. I decided to participate, and I wanted to have something that was representative of Minnesota. And with August being a time when the sunflower fields are in bloom, I thought that would be a really good subject for my photos that I was going to collect and then figure out which one I wanted to submit. So I went to a place called the Green Barn up in Isanti, Minnesota. And a lot of these sunflower fields, what they'll do is they will charge a nominal fee to be able to go in, walk around, take as many photos as you want. You can bring props. There are people there that bring costumes, all kinds of things go on. And then they have a bunch of props that they have placed in the fields themselves, and they move it depending upon which fields are blooming versus which ones are past peak and which ones aren't quite there yet. And so it lasts about a month. It's kind of a fun thing to do anyway. So that was how I picked the location. I ended up with, oddly enough, an even number of 250 photos after spending several hours up there. And I brought them into Lightroom. And this process I follow for any photo shoot that I do. So anytime I go out shooting, bring them into Lightroom, I go through the same general process, which is to first go through in grid mode in the library and just tag the ones or flag them that I think are worth taking a closer look at. And you can see, looking through here, I have a number of them that are flagged. And once I do that, I then go and filter on those. And so I just see those. And so I've reduced it down to 66 photos. And you'll notice that there are some duplicates. And that's because I'm not sure which one of those might be the one that I want to work on. But the idea is my next pass, I will go through and take a closer look and figure out which ones I actually do want to spend some time working on. Not that the other ones are bad necessarily, but they just, for whatever reason, don't fit quite what I was looking for. I have had situations in the past where I've gone back and I've looked at some of the ones that I didn't work on and wondered why, and I've gone back and worked on them then, so you never know. But at least for right now, these are the ones that I think I'm willing to look at. And so to do that, I go into the loop. And this is actually the first time I take this close of a look at them. And I assign 2 stars to the ones that I want to go ahead and at least start working on, at least take a closer look at. And so I'll go through and just kind of look at the other ones. Maybe this one, although I do kind of like the other one better. I like the idea of these out of focus sunflowers in the background, but I think it needs to be brighter looking at some of these others. And I'll just kind of go through and look at the one, see which one I like the story the best. I think this one is probably it. So I'll go ahead and give that one 2 stars. Skip over to here, and grasshopper is kind of interesting. And I think maybe that's the best of the 3 there. I do like the flowers and the tractor. A lot of distracting stuff over here, but this might be something that could be cropped to a nice 8x10. This shows a little bit of the nature story with the seeds forming on the head, but probably not for this one. This has some nice color. I like the bee right there. That might be another one. And then I just continue to work forward and just see maybe that one. And so then I'll go through and then figure out from there what those are and then filter down again. At this point, I have it narrowed down to 27. Still too many photos. I need to probably get that down somewhere in the 10 to 15 range. And then that'll be a good set to go ahead and work on for this particular project. And in general, anyway, that would really be my goal with any shoot, is to try to get it into that 10 to 15 range. Prior to doing the final narrowing down of images, I usually like to let things sit, get away from the computer for a bit, and then come back in and take a look at the photos. The reason for that is it does help to put a little bit more distance between the time when the photos were shot, take some of the emotion and that out of the equation associated from when you were shooting the scene. Now, realistically with this, with the sunflower field, I've shot sunflower field before. It wasn't a new experience. Typically with traveling to new locations, that's something that can really come into play. So it's really a matter of, when you're looking at these photos, do you like them because it's a really good photo, or do you like it because it was a really new experience? And while that might be fine for putting into like the family album and that sort of thing, it really comes down to what are the best photos that you took on the given day. So let's take a look at these, and one of the things I'm going to do is look at them just a little bit bigger. And this one I really like. I wasn't sure if this might have been one that kind of fell into the category of, maybe there was some emotional ties to it, but every time I keep coming back to this one. So there's something about this one that really does seem to resonate with me, even though it's not the perfect photo. If we look down in this area, we can see that these 3 sunflowers down here really aren't all that sharp, but everything else seems to be where it makes sense. So there is fade off in the back, but I like that. But the front of the truck, these sunflowers all have reasonable sharpness to them. So I'm going to assign this one a 3, and then look at the next one. And I don't think I like this one as much as the next, so I'll move on. As I look at this one, I really like the fact I've got that bee inflate in front. Is it completely sharp? Well, no, the bee is a little blurry, but it's kind of to be expected. But in general, I do like just the way the background works with these flowers and that. And you can see I did play with this one a little bit already. But this is definitely one that I think that I want to keep. So I'll give that a 3. And then, so you kind of get the idea of going through and taking a critical look and seeing where things are and what it is that I want to have as kind of that final set. Now that I've completed the process of going through and further refining my selection, if I filter now on 3 stars, what I'll see is I'm down to 12 photos. So exactly where I wanted to get for Peter Forsgård's project. He wants 1 image, so I'll need to figure out which of these is the one that I want to send in. But at this point, this is where I start editing. So anything with 3 stars means that this is something that I think is worth working on. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'll have videos in the future that talk about specific ways that I go about editing photos. But for now, let's just skip ahead and look at the final photos that came out of this, basically these 12 that are edited, and that is in this slideshow. may be wondering which of the 12 photos was the one that actually was submitted for the project. Ultimately, I kept coming back to the one with the truck in the sunflower field. Peter has set up a website that has all of the photos that have been submitted, and I put a link to that down in the description. Please go out and take a look at that. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If you'd like to know about more videos coming up in the future, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And there's that little bell if you want to get notifications when I put something out that's new. Try for Mondays, but some weeks get a little bit busier than others and don't always quite hit that, but that is the goal. Thanks.